Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 22 of Levitated, where I am swimming in raw ingredients, so ores of various types, thanks to our void ore miner and void resource miner. Most of these ores we'll never use. Simple as that. We have way more ores than we will ever conceive of using. I mean, here's 13,000 iron ore. And we produce like 10 pieces a second. If I were to try to process all of this stuff, it would take quite a bit of processing equipment, even though we can process ores pretty quickly through industrial, or not industrial, for going through, what's this mod called? I forget its name. Tech Reborn. We can process our ores pretty quickly through Tech Reborn. It's simply not worth it to do so passively. Instead, what I'll do is I'll probably just set up on-demand processing recipes, or perhaps certain resources that do take a long time to process, we might process passively. Stuff like maybe tungsten, iridium, I don't know. Even that stuff, though, processes very quickly. So, yeah, if we can do it quickly and on demand, I see no reason not to just do it like that. It's a lot less work than doing so passively. Anyways, with our void ore miners out of the way, we actually can now continue with progression. So, it looks, well, I suspect we'll need access to a couple more types of resources in order to progress. And that would be platinum, which we can get from a fusion reactor, and let's see, this quest seems to imply that there will be more stuff that we can only get from a quantum quarry. So let's start today off. Actually, no, I've been meaning to make this UU matter fabric. Is there any reason to make UU matter anymore? Originally, I was thinking about making this because it would give us easy access to certain things like, clay, gunpowder. But like, all these ores are useless. Maybe we just don't need UU powder anymore, right? UU matter. UU matter is one way to get iridium, but who cares? I have infinite iridium from our void ore miner. So maybe we don't need this. It is an interesting way to make fluids, but if we don't need any of these fluids, then why bother? Let's not do this. I'll come back and make UU matter when and if it becomes necessary. So instead, let's do the fusion thing. Nuclear fusion with Tech Reborn requires a big ring of blocks. So let's start by just grabbing or making a fusion controller, and I believe it will tell us exactly what blocks we need to make the actual fusion multi-block. One component of the fusion control computer requires the rolling machine again, so I think this makes nichrome heating coils, which go into the fusion coils. In fact, 32 is probably not enough of these. I think this is the one, oops, not the, I don't need the ring, I need the ingot. And these are the one coil that we do use a fair number of because we need a lot of those fusion coils. So let's make a stack. I think a stack is probably enough. But with that, we should be able to request a fusion control computer. Yeah, it's not an easy recipe. Lots of different things go into it, but it's all managed auto crafting. So I hit the go button, and then we wait probably about 20 to 30 seconds for everything to craft, and then we should have a fusion control computer out the other side. It says 16 seconds. I don't know if I believe that. I finally found a process in Tech Reborn that's kind of slow. I mean, as far as Tech Reborn goes, this iridium making process is glacially slow. Everything else only takes like 2 ticks per. Oh well, I think that's probably just about the last step. Oh, making emerald plates. Why is it making emerald plates so slowly? No, I don't think I'm allowed to make emerald plates in this machine. Needs to go in a compressor. This is most definitely not a compressor. Whoops, made the same, well, a similar mistake for helium as well. So this is made in an industrial centrifuge, though we have an industrial electrolyzer, so I need to make a industrial centrifuge as well. Unsurprisingly, here's another Tech Reborn machine that has a bug. It doesn't show a progress bar, it says 0%, but if we just look at this for another couple seconds, it takes a couple seconds per operation. It's also on the slower side. We'll see an operation complete, but it's like 0%, and there it goes. It's done, and then a new set of items got put in. So, I don't know what's wrong with the industrial centrifuge, but yeah, here it is. It does a bunch of different things. I don't know how many of these are actually meaningful. Right now, we use it to make helium, which I believe will also be used as a nuclear fuel later on. But I believe that has completed our fusion controller. Well, so if I place this, here we go. We need, I guess all we need are coils. It's up to you what size you want it to be. So the larger you go, the more coils you need, and the more energy it uses, but also the faster it runs. So I don't know what the limit is. 50 apparently, using 49 sacks of coils, and it's that big. We quite obviously don't want that. How about we do I want to find something that uses a reasonable number of coils. 36, 40 coils for 16x speed. Seems like a good ratio to me. Let's see what it takes to make 40 of these. I expect we'll need, well, I was expecting something, not charcoal. Sapphire, copper, just have to add recipes for that. A few more nichrome. Nah, let's just make this a little smaller. 28. Once again, a little bit more charcoal. I need to add in a copper making recipe, and that's it. All right. I switched from using charcoal to using coal for making the carbon plates. It uses a bit more coal, but my coal is fully automated, so I don't have to worry about it. Anyways, 28 fusion coils, 45,000 bytes. There's actually quite a bit of stuff in here. Lots of electrum, copper. Oh, I have to grind a lot of stuff. This might actually take like 5-ish minutes to craft just because of the sheer volume of things, but we'll hit the go button, let it go, do its thing, and then I guess I'll just step away for a couple minutes. We'll come back when this is hopefully done crafting. Actually, during that time, maybe I'll relocate. Oh, I guess the Tech Reborn does this weird thing where if you pick up a machine while it's generating its preview, it doesn't get rid of its preview. All right, yeah, maybe I'll level out some territory or some terrain here so that we can build our fusion controller right here. It was this size, right? Yeah, that'll fit. So I guess I don't have to level out any terrain after all. All things said, it took about 10 minutes to craft these coils. If there's going to be much more crafting... Oh, did I... That's not the right size. Ring, 28. It started with 28 coils. What the heck? Right? Did I not? There, let's pick these up and count them. Turns out I found yet another Tech Reborn bug. So right now it says required coils 28, right? But if we count one quarter of it, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and those 9 are duplicated 4 times. That's clearly 36. So either the preview is lying or the number is lying, and I'm not quite sure which. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 6 times 4, 24. So I think that's exactly the same size. This is still exactly the same size. I'm so confused. Preview. Do I have to... Oh, you have to toggle it after each change. I see. Is this actually 28? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 8 times... Wait. I'm just gonna place the blocks to find out, man. Anyways, if it turns out we have a lot more crafts of this magnitude in this pack, we're going to have to set up something more passive for ore processing. Every now and then waiting 10 minutes for what is effectively the largest crafts we'll do in the game, that I'm okay with. But if we have to do it regularly, I'm less okay with that. Anyways, the fusion control computer needs power given to it. It also produces power. However, depending on the recipe you do, it may or may not produce more power than it inputs. So a flux point can provide it with all the power it can dream of. There we go. Disable the limit because it can input energy very quickly. Not charge. Oh, it doesn't input energy directly from flux points. I remember that. I think we have to give it a piece of Tech Reborn cable. in order for it to input energy. That seems to have done it. So by doing this, we can now power it. The Tech Reborn cables have a limit. There is a limitless cable, but we just can't make it, at least not reasonably yet. So now we have this thing. It is a size 10, which means it processes recipes at 9 times the speed shown here. This machine does not accept overclockers. Anyways, some recipes, mostly the plasma recipes, I believe, produce less energy than the input. However, the idea is you can take the plasma and then run it through a turbine of some sort to get energy out of it. I don't know the exact details. But what we need out of it, because we don't need power is quite obviously taken care of already, we need to make a quantum quarry. So this uses helium plasma. So it's deuterium and helium-3. I think these come from processing, let's see, hydrogen and tritium plus deuterium. So wait, helium, no, we can make helium-3 by centrifuging instead. So really it's just deuterium. I need to centrifuge some hydrogen. That doesn't sound too bad. Let me figure out where we get this from. Don't mind the explosions. Electrolyzing bauxite should have given me this. Ah, here it is. Nope. Guess not. Alright, we can just... Because we only need to make one quantum quarry and a couple of quantum... these things? Actuators? The quantum actuator doesn't actually... Oh, this uses platinum, which comes, I presume, also from the fusion controller somehow. Let's look at the fusion controller recipes. Platinum is wolfranium and beryllium. This comes from electrolyzing tungsten. Okay, given how many steps that are involved here, let's just have the ME system grab the, manage the sub-steps for us. While putting more recipes in, I ran out of recipe slots in our first molecular assembler tower. All of these slots are filled up, so I just built another one. Now we have twice as many. Each one adds another 9 times 32, so 300-ish recipe slots. I think 288 maybe is the exact number. And here we go, 32 more molecular assemblers, complete with all of their slots. I suspect these will be enough for us to finish the pack with. It's quite convenient that the fusion reactor here runs with items. These are technically fluids, but they're fluids in cells, so they're treated as items, which means that it's very easy for us to move the items around, because Applied Energy 6 is extremely good at precision movement of items. It is a lot less good at precision movement of fluids. So as a result, the fact that these are items makes this very easy. Anyways, that should allow us to make the quantum quarry, except for the fact that we don't have the snow globe yet. So we'll come back to that, but I think maybe we can make the actuators. Missing end rods. Well, that's an easy recipe to put into here, and this is from melting chorus fruit, if that's what it comes to. Furnace recipe goes in here, assembler recipe there, and make me 6 of this. There we go. So this does use the platinum, which is made in the fusion reactor with beryllium and something or another. I don't know. Hit the go button. And then let's watch it start just so we can be sure that it's working. And yep, here it is. It is using 8,000 RF a tick. And because this recipe appears to... Yeah, this is an energy negative recipe, which means it uses a start energy when it starts, obviously. That is always, as far as I can tell, that's always a positive number. That is an amount of energy consumed immediately upon starting the recipe. And then it consumes the Fe per tick, with the negative numbers being consumed or positive numbers being produced. So I guess in this case, helium plasma produces 131k. Does this end up being positive? 131k RF a tick for 1024 ticks. Let's break out the calculator. 131,000 times 1024 is 134. Oh, of course, you can just multiply it by 1,000-ish. But actually, it produces 134 million. It produces slightly less than it consumes. Which must mean that if there is a way to get energy out of this, there must be another machine that can do it, because neither the extractor nor the vacuum freezer produce energy. Is there a turbine? That's a gas turbine. That doesn't... I don't think this is it. Yeah, I don't know how exactly you're supposed to... I'm not quite sure how you're supposed to get energy out of that. But whatever, this produces platinum, and I think I just forgot to... Nope, I set you to auto output just the wrong side. And that should mark the craft as, you know, progressing. Cool, so let's leave this here for a little bit to craft. Is it all trunk loaded? Yeah. While we look at that snow globe. To make the snow globe, first we have to craft the basic snow globe. A door? Any door? Okay, not that door. Any door but this door. Oak door? And make a snow globe. And then in order to activate the snow globe, we have to visit at least 7 of the dimensions listed there. So end is visited. Then we can go probably to the nether and then just randomly fly around the overworld until we visit 5 of those dimensions in there. And then that'll mark our snow globe as having seen enough of the world to, I don't know, have gathered the data it needs to do its magic. The good news about this snow globe is we don't actually even have to generate the chunks to cut for it to be considered that biome. So right now we're in like a taiga biome, even though it's the void. The biome actually exists. So what are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have to add a couple more. All right. Well, I'm just gonna, fly roughly circular shapes until we get the last 2. I think I had previously seen there's like a forest here. I saw the thing jump, which probably means, yeah, it's 6. So 1 more. I guess Taiga M counts as something different. River? Is river something unique? Nope. Come on, I believe in you. Any second now. I guess we could... Ooh, a flower forest. Is that it? No. We could use the biome scanner, I suppose, but then again, yeah, we could just use we could just use journey map for it. Plains, forest, swampland. So go southeast. Oh, what's this? Bones. Oh, I guess that's what the game meant when it said bones. All that's left in the overworld is bones. There's actually ore in the bones. Well, that's boring. Never mind. Leave the ore alone. And it seems during that time we visited some biome or another. And I guess it's probably the swampland. And we've completed our snow globe. So with this, we should be able to also order the quantum quarry. Yep. The fusion reactor steps are a little bit on the slow side just because we can't use the super broken overclocker upgrades on them. So it looks like this craft will take another couple of minutes to make the 12 platinum, and then this might... There's a fusion reactor step in here somewhere. Yeah, helium plasma, which takes another 51 seconds. Well, this one only takes 5 seconds. Oh, no, I guess this also only takes 5 seconds. Doesn't this feel like it takes a lot more than 5 seconds? I thought that was the whole point of having a large... Maybe the size impacts the energy? No? I don't... Let me look up what exactly size impacts. Because if size is supposed to... Like, if this is a multiplier on speed, then I think I'm being scammed. Right? This is clearly not running at 9 times speed because the recipe here says 51 seconds. 9 times speed is like 6 seconds. This is taking basically 51 seconds. Who knows? I looked it up on their wiki. The wiki was last edited in 2018, is for an ancient version of the mod. The in-game documentation doesn't exist, so we just the only conclusion I can draw is that this number means absolutely nothing. I tried like changing the size, except I think all that did was void the current craft. Like if I do this, yeah, it's like, oh, can't do that. And then when I switch it back, it starts to craft over, but it's voided one set of input items. It's also voided another however many million RF in the process. So I don't know. The thing don't work, and I'm not about to fight it. I'm just gonna wait for this to craft, and I'm gonna have to craft a couple more ingots to make up for the ones I voided. Ingot Tech Reborn, why'd you do this to me? I did a little bit of digging this time in the source code for the mod, and I think I've discovered that the multiplier number shown here is not a speed multiplier, but is a multiplier on the energy that it produces when running. I think it is smart enough that for recipes that consume energy, it doesn't consume additional energy based on your size. But for recipes that produce energy, it does produce. Wait, maybe it. Hold on. If I get right now, we are inserting 96k RF a tick, and it's still draining at 8. Is it? If I take one of these away, is that number no? Okay, good. It is smart enough to not use extra energy for the crafting step based on the size, but for the recipes that do produce positive energy, I think that's how you're supposed to make energy out of the fusion controller. The larger your fusion controller is, the more energy you get out of it. That's moderately sensible. So at our current size, we would get, for 160 million RF in, we would get something like, almost 10 times that out. Right? It was like 134 was the 1x rate. So at a 9x rate, it would be significantly higher. It's only relevant then, the size of a reactor is only relevant if you're doing the plasma recipes, which seems a little bit silly. Also, this recipe shown here is a standard Tech Reborn recipe that requires a size 50 reactor. Like, do the people that make this mod play with it? I can't help but be so utterly baffled. The only purpose of this enhanced superconductor, well, is to make this thing, which increases the transfer rate of the adjustable storage unit. It's a huge chest. It's a chest that holds a lot of items. A size 50 reactor, right? We looked at the number. There was something like 50 stacks of fusion coils to make something that can hold a lot of items, that can transfer a lot of RF. I don't understand. I'm so baffled by this mod. I don't know. Anyways, enough of me ranting about it. I'm just trying to kill time until this craft finishes. So I'm going to shut up, cut the video. We'll be back when we're done crafting. Please, save me, Tech Reborn. I used to like you because you were fast. Now you're not fast. That thing also briefly flashed the wrong item when the craft finished. It was making helium plasma and it flashed at dust. Oh, I see. Never mind. That the helium plasma was the items in the buffers, whereas it was crafting a dust. All right, so I think it's crafting the helium plasma now. Our quarry actuators are done, so then give me the quantum quarry next, and then I think we can build it. Hopefully, the quantum quarry can mine. Hopefully, it can mine. What's it called? Platinum. If not, we might be in a little bit of trouble, because I really don't want to have to make platinum with this thing. It is so incredibly painfully slow. We'll find out in, come on, about 1 second. Set up the quantum quarry, place the center block, and then place the blocks around it. I believe you have to cover all 6 sides, and I guess you have to click on that. And then place a chest or any inventory anywhere near it. That'll be for output, and supply it with RF. I believe it uses a fair bit of RF. Let's see exactly how much. 20,000. And it will mine stuff for us. What it's actually doing is it creates a virtual world, like a separate dimension, and then quarries it. So depending on the biome it's in, right now it's in the Forest Hills biome, we'll get different like surface blocks. So it might even hit trees and stuff because it's actually mining a literal dimension. But what I want to do with this, I think, is probably just directly hook it up to our door wall here. So what is this? That's an ender chest. Let's replace our output chest with an ender chest and then see what all we get. we can filter it. So we can put a filter here that will void any items that match the filter. Oh look, mana infused ore. There's something new. So that we don't have to like deal with cobblestone and such. If you're like me and only use fast machines, well, you're in luck. You can make a efficiency book, either make or enchant a book, however you like, and then put that in here. I believe it also accepts fortune books. Perhaps you can put efficiency and fortune together, but that just makes it run faster. Does it make it use more energy too? Yeah, now we're up to 120,000 arithmetic, which is as much energy as our void ore miner is using. And the outputs of this are far less, at least it's far less numerous. It uses the same amount of energy regardless of whether or not you keep or void the blocks too. So you may as well keep the blocks. Just every now and then I get a new block that we haven't added to our drawer wall yet, and I'm going to have to add those here. So I've already added a couple types of wood, some new types of stone, but so far I think the only new ore we've gotten off this is mana infused ore. I'm going to let it run a little while longer to see if there's anything else. Oh, here we go, dilithium ore. That I know we will need for advanced rocketry later. So I'm also out of room on the drawers. I guess we add more then. That mana-infused ore is a key part of making engines and other rocket components, so we'll need to get a fair bit of that in order for us to make a rocket and launch it. I think our goal is to find a planet to live on that's better than the overworld, because the overworld kind of doesn't exist. So let's start working towards that. The machine structure here is basically the machine frame for advanced rocketry, so we're going to need a whole bunch of those. Let's see what exactly that entails. Iron plates, iron rods, that doesn't look too bad. Thankfully, we even get 16 of them in one go, so I imagine 32 of them, 32 might not last us the entire pack, but let's start by making 32 of them. There's a machine frame in here too, but that's not too bad. Anyways, once we have that, the next step is to make a rocket assembling machine. Let's see if we need all of the advanced rocketry multi-blocks in this pack. So concrete can just be made by hand. The boards can be made in the precision assembler, but looking at this, it's like I'm willing to just spend the extra materials to make it by hand if it means I don't need a precision assembler. Let's check for a recipe that typically can only be made in the precision assembler, something like the data storage. Okay, so it looks like we cannot avoid making the advanced rocketry multi-blocks. These are not the fastest machines, but they can be sped up past what is displayed in JI. Basically, this is the basic speed. So let's start with instead of jumping to what the quest asks, let's start with the hollow projector. This is just like a multi-block viewer for advanced rocketry. When you open up the hollow projector, you get a long list of machines. These are all the multi-blocks that are in advanced rocketry. Good news is we don't need most of them. I've pinned the ones that I'm pretty sure are required. Maybe like the lathe might not be. I think most of what the lathe can do can also be duplicated by the metal press, but I'm not actually, like, I didn't check literally every recipe to see. All things considered too, the lathe is a pretty easy machine to make. So we'll probably have to make one of each of these. Instead of making them as we need them, let's just make them all right now and get them all set up and ready to go. So let's work left to right. Rolling machine first. To see what blocks are required to make the multi-block, set your hollow projector to the thing, and it'll show you in the tooltip. You can also, I believe it's, right-click the hollow projector on the ground, and it'll give you a, holographic projection. It's in the name. So anyways, for this we need the rolling machine block itself, a power input plug, a couple coils. The higher tier of the coil, the faster the machine runs. So because we can make iridium coils, we might as well make iridium coils. Let's see, some hatches, some structures. Likewise, the higher tier your motor, the faster it runs. So we may as well make the elite motor if we can. Anyways, I'm going to grab components. I believe these multi-blocks automatically form when you place all the components, assuming you have the right components. So nope, you have to click the controller to form it. So this makes the rolling machine. When you first form it too, make sure you turn it on. I don't know why they default to off, but they do. Fooled me more than once. Anyways, the purpose of the rolling machine, is there a way for me to check its recipes, is mostly to make sheets. I say sheets, not plates, because I don't know. Advanced rocketry has to be special. It can make plates too, but I mean, I guess it's kind of fast at making plates. You see here it says time 1 second, but our rolling machine is a 16x speed machine because the coils I used in it were iridium coils, and the motor is an elite motor, which is the highest tier. So I guess it is like extremely fast. Nonetheless, I probably won't bother moving my plate recipes over, but it is the only way that I can make these sheets. So I guess sheets are like platier plates. They also take a lot longer to make, but 15 seconds divided by 16 is what, just about 1 second. Acceptable. Anyways, it does take a fluid input, but that's, I guess, they all use water. Kind of, whatever. What's the value of making it use water? Oh, look, the tank even says water on it. That's cute. Anyways, let's supply it with water and then just move on to the next machine. We'll run into the recipes later when we start trying to put together like a rocket and stuff. I went ahead and crafted the other machines off camera just because, I mean, all you have to do is place down blocks. So we have a lathe that runs at 4x speed. The speed of most of these machines is dependent on how many motors slash coils there are in them. So the lathe only has a single motor, so it runs at, it can only go up to 4x. Likewise, in fact, let's turn that back on. The cutting machine, 4x. Crystallizer, 4x. The precision assembler, though, uses a lot of motors and coils. It goes up to 64x. That's a zoom-in machine. And lastly, we have ye old electric arc furnace to go along with our arc furnace that uses electricity. Don't overthink it. It can... I'm not actually 100% sure if we need this, but it provides just an easier way to make... Like, it can make most of the alloys, but I think most of these alloys we can make in other ways as well, maybe? No, maybe not. Yeah, here we go. We can make... Wait, this is 10 input makes 3 output. Is that the same right here? It is. Okay. So I guess it makes, like, the same stuff. It makes steel cheaper, because we can use coal instead of charcoal. I mean, instead of coal. But this last recipe here is actually, it is our easiest way of making silicon, because currently I'm making silicon in a sag mill by sag milling clay, and it's a chance product, although with basically any grinding ball we can get that to 100%. But this is just throw sand into the input, and because of the 8x multiplier, it's quite fast, and get silicon out the output. So these are the advanced rocketry machines that I think will be getting us into space and onto the hunt for a suitable planet to live on. However, that'll have to be for tomorrow because we are out of time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.